Welcome to Fuel. Fuel stands for Finance, Unity, Empowerment, Legacy. Join us today for a special edition of our program featuring Dennis and Mac as they talk about Financial Language Part 1.
You are the man. Hey, it looks like we're missing one. Oh man.
Look, we're missing the one we need the most because
the doctor. Yeah.
Who's gonna police us?
I guess we gotta police ourselves.
Oh my gosh. Then we're looking at a train wreck.
Being a caregiver. For all you caregivers out there, you get 2 thumbs up, a hoop-de-hoo, and a thank you and a congratulations, because you guys deserve all the accolades that you could possibly receive, because it is hard. Yeah. But you know what? I'm preparing. Every day that I do things with my mother and my father, it teaches me one more lesson of what I need to keep preparing for. So if you don't think you're going to get old, you don't think you're going to make it past 25, don't listen to this conversation. But everybody else in this world who's going to get older than 25 and who are going to get old, thank the Lord.
Yeah, because
you better prepare for not only your parents, maybe even your siblings. So I have to take care. Right now I don't have to take care of my sibling, but I'm preparing. And I'm taking care of my mother, and I'm preparing to take care of my father. And then I'm looking at my daughter and I'm like, you know what, Mac? I better prepare to take care of me, because she is unprepared. You know, she's been a blessing though. She helps me out a lot with my mother.
Yeah.
But I look at it, oh my God, what if she has to take care of me, my mother, my brother, and my father? So if you have boy children, get rid of them quick and get some girl children. Because those girl children will take care of you. Those boy children will be like, well, see you later. Which I wish I could. I know I'm not a girl, but I wish I could say see you later. It is hard. But my daughter is oh my gosh, she gets on top of things. You know, it's amazing to watch her work, and it makes me feel good that I have a girl child. My brother, on the other hand, has a boy.
Yeah, let me tell you, because you know, altogether, I've got 5 children. Of course, some were married into my family, but the 2 biologicals. You know, I have a boy and girl. So it's interesting you say that, because now that girl, I mean, you're right. That girl will tell you that she has saved her father's life at least 2 times. But she's also the one that works with me even in the nonprofit. She's, you know, she helps me fundraise and stuff like that. She's helping me right now do some stuff that we have going in Nepal. And, you know, to your point, man, you know, that's the one who I designate to take care of things, you know, if I should go before her or my wife. You know, it's like, you know, you got to hold down the fort, because she's been the go-to just naturally and never had to ask, right? Just do it. Just kind of that do it thing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, but you know what? Getting to your point, because we are in similar situations in that we both, you have 2 parents, you know, that are still with us, praise God. I have one who is still with us, and I can't complain because I got a lot of help with her because of some mental challenges that she's going through. But still, man, I don't have a brother or sister to run to do stuff for me. I got to do it. You know, it's just like, it was forced upon me. And that was really my introduction into doing these things that we're talking about now on fuel, that I had to all of a sudden care about money. I had to care about the future. I had to look at my own life and get some things straightened out so I could justify taking care of them, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know the last 2-3 weeks have been the craziest time in my life, being a caregiver and taking care of my own life. I haven't had really a chance to think about myself at all. And, most of us men are kind of selfish, but we don't mean to be. It's just how we're wired. We're wired to do the big things. We're macro engineers, and my daughter's a micro engineer, and that micro stuff drives me crazy. I quit my job about 11 years ago. I think it was 11 years. I lose track of it because I don't even know if it's Monday or Tuesday until Matt calls me and says it's Friday. So, and I had enough money for me. I saved my whole working career. I went to school for electrical engineering, ended up working at a company called United Technologies for 30 years. And I saved and saved and saved. That means no dating or very little dating, because that's the only way you can save is not to date. And then next thing you know, I'm like, okay, I got enough money. I'm out of here. And I got out and plenty of money sitting there. But after 11 years, man, I probably would have only had 5 years left where I would have to go back to work or sell my house. So that means I was only 15 years wealthy. And then we went on our fuel, where we're trying to look at finances and legacy. And I said, I'm gonna do something else. And I called Mac and I said, Mac, let's look into other ways where we can generate income from real estate, stock, cryptocurrencies, blockchain. We've partnered with companies to deliver free financial education. Now, just so you know, when they told me it was free, I didn't believe them either. I said, nobody gives this information free. You go on YouTube and there's a bunch of people who want to sell you books or who want to sell you classes. So when they said free, I didn't believe it. And thanks to COVID, free is now on the computer. So you, in the comfort of your own home, you can go through a free financial class. Unbelievable. So I took the class, and that was also about 10 years ago, because I wanted to make sure I knew how to make my money last longer. And actually, they taught me how to make my money last longer. Because when you look at your bank account and you got a bunch of zeros, and then you go shopping, you take 1 0 off, you can buy a lot of stuff. And still have a bunch of zeros, but eventually you realize that 0.03 interest rate is not enough. And then I looked at my annuity and, man, this is not the interest rate they promised me. And my money was going to be gone. If, that was just living a reduced life. I did have to go out to dinner more. Which, I love my kitchen. I'm not really into going out to dinner, but when you're dating, you gotta go out to dinner. You gotta celebrate every single holiday. And I'm not working and my income is going down, and she's happy as a lark. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go back to work. And to me, going to work is like a poison pill. So we got on this and we started looking into different things. And I was just telling Mac off air that thank goodness that right now my investments are doing really well. Have some of them failed? Yes. My real estate failed. My gold is useless. I know gold guys going to say, you're not doing it right. Well, you're not old enough. When you get my age, then you come back and tell me how good your gold is doing.
Right.
And if you make it through a downturn in the real estate, then you come and tell me I didn't do right in real estate. But anyway, besides all that, I had a bunch of Mac and I have over the years have done a bunch of things, and some of them really paid off. And right now I said, Mac, I'm so glad I did this last thing. I said, but the thing I did after the last thing has failed already. I said, so do I stop looking? No, you keep on moving, you learn, you keep on taking in information, and you just realize you have to temper your disappointment. You have to learn how, when you are disappointed in something, you have to look past that. You know, it was I look at it as a learning experience. So now when people come to me and try to sell me things or get me on this program or that program, I tell them, well, I know where I can get free financial education. And I know where you can get it also. No, I don't need to buy a book. You know, I already bought a book about rich parents, poor parents.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and I already spent money on those classes, a lot of money. But if I had that money right now, I'd be in better shape, because now I know that you could take your money and do other things with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I came up, and I don't know how much of this I've shared on previous fuel programs, but even though I made most of my living, in the accounting arena, I actually came up, and Dennis knows this intimately, uh, through sales. Starting with telemarketing way back in the day.
Way back.
How we really met. Um, but that extended into all types of other sales careers and things like that. So reading books by like Tracy and Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and The Greatest Salesman in the World, those things, they were like no brainers. It's like your initiation into that kind of a world. And in the same way, now I find myself, all the time looking at or listening to or reading things that are related around finance, mainly, honestly, these days, more in the cryptocurrency direction, because I'm just fascinated by how all that works, but also just all types of things. To your point, Dennis, it's like we should never be afraid to get more knowledge, and the other adage is that you should never put into something which you can't afford to lose.
But you can't afford to lose. Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's why I bought books. Like you were going through some. I was like, wow, I remember I read those in college, like the Richest Man in Babylon, or the Millionaire Next Door, or the 1 Minute Millionaire.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a whole series for Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Simon Sinek, Success, the Success Magazine series, the Success books, and so many subscriptions I have done to understand one thing: how does money work?
Yeah.
And it's an amazing thing right there. How does money work?
Yeah, when you started to share with me just the concept of the rule of 72, compounding, it made me appreciate those pennies more, because we just literally finished talking about pennies to dollars. And so, I think that with our audience, like if they would take the time to really just educate themselves, whether it's here on things that we do here, or like you said, there's a plethora of YouTube videos of all types of commentary. You can open up any paper and see what's going on, and just start to get familiar and start seeing that there's always a pattern. And even look at the people that are doing well in certain industries, and just look at what they do in order to be successful, because it's a lifestyle. It's not just about money, but it's people that are successful we're both musicians, so you have to practice. I mean, there's no way around that. I could go to the piano right now. I could hit some stuff and people would think, oh, that's really good. Okay. But if I'm really trying to do something, I got to sit down there and do my scales, do my chord studies, all, theory, it's all kind of things that have to go into all of this. And so if you're spending 500 hours a week on Netflix, you're missing out on a lot of education. And COVID, with all the negativity that has come with COVID, the positive is that it's given us time, and time is a precious thing to have. And so we should be using that time to make things better for ourselves, our communities, and all of this works together to be able to really deal with finance, unity, empowerment, and legacy. How do you like how I kind of wrapped that in?
That was good. Very good.
I'm promoing, man.
Sound like a preacher. Sound like a preacher over there. But when
I
you
am.
talk about both of us being musicians, I got to let you know that when you're in church, the piano player is the musician, the drummer's the drummer. For some reason, they separate the drummer from being a musician. So let me tell you, I know a lot of drummers who write music, can play piano. I can play piano. Well, I'm getting better. But in church, for some reason, they don't call the drummer a musician. So let me tell you guys, the drummer is the musician.
I keep cutting you off, so I apologize. But
That's
you know
because
what?
he's a preacher.
No, I'm not gonna preach this time, I promise you. But it just all reminded me of the fact that many of the songs that we call hymns now were really communications for directions on the what am I trying to say now?
I don't know. I say ginkgo biloba.
Whatever.
Just take as much as you need to get your mind right.
No, but
yeah, a lot of hidden messages in the songs.
Yeah.
And people could pick it up. Not all people could pick it up and know, we're meeting by the bridge at midnight. And you have to prepare. It's like in time of plenty, you save for time of famine. Of course, with our system has changed from farming, agrarian to industrial, so we don't really see those cycles that much. But they've dropped the market 3 times in my lifetime. And I think I might make it to a 4th one. So we do suffer cycles. There was the Great Depression. It was 2001, 2007. And boy, what do you call this? 2019?
Yeah.
That is 4. And this one's not even over yet. So we had to learn a new financial language. When I was growing up, it was go to school, get a job, get a 401k. Those things no longer hold because Social Security can't even take care of you no more. So you absolutely have to learn the language of finance, so you can meet us at the river at 12 o'clock.
Yeah. And that's been the beauty of this journey. And that's why we need to encourage people to really be open to educating themselves, because it's a beautiful language, man. If you can get into the finance language, and I'm still learning every day about that language, but it's a wonderful process. I'm trying to get to that genius status, right? So I got the English down, of course. I'm working on the Spanish, and now I'm trying to get that finance thing going, so I can be a genius.
And musician.
Oh gosh, well that's a whoa. That's sign language and verbal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, part of the inspiration of doing Fuel is that, we try to blend in our personal lives and stories into something that's relevant. So even though you might hear me and Dennis today talking about music and our families and taking care of our parents and being caregivers and all that kind of thing, there's undercover code that we're really trying to expose here. And is that undercover code is that if you don't have a plan of action for your family, which includes that financial piece, then man, you ain't speaking any language. And you're going to suffer because of that. So, when first my father started, his health started to fail, was when I really got my introduction into that financial language. And I'm telling you, man, when we started looking for areas of care facilities that could handle him with the issues that he had at that point, um, it was going to literally bankrupt us. Everything that my parents had worked so hard for, I mean, it would have been gone in less than a year based upon what the system wanted me to do. So I had to start to learn that language. And it was like, you know how people end up doing their GEDs? It's like trying to learn 3 or 4 years of information, like in a few months, to be able to, navigate those waters. Because let me tell you guys, from everywhere from the attorney's office to probate to the courts to the care facilities, I don't care how beautiful it sounds, they want your money and they want all of it, even if they have to attach your house to it. They are going to get theirs. So you're going to have to figure out a system in order to work around that so that you can still provide the proper care for your loved ones who need you, but at the same time, still be able to create a legacy for those who will come after you. So that whole process for me, man, I'm still going through it now that my father's passed, but my mother's still very much alive, but her health is in decline. It's that same thing, but it took work. It took learning that language. You and Dr. Jackie, who just decided to be MIA today because she figured she had a life. Go figure that she, out of the three of us, deserve to even go somewhere and have fun or whatever she's doing, Dennis. I mean, it ain't even fair, right? But here we are, leaving us to have to hold down the fort. But, to the point is that, without the two of you guys, coming in like perfect timing, I don't know where I would be today, honestly. So it's made me aware of all of the options that are out there that can be taken advantage of. So I just want to encourage our audience, to not be afraid or to think that it's a stupid question. There are no stupid questions. The only stupid thing is when you don't ask the questions.
Thank you for joining us today for our first part discussion on financial language. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Fueling Future Generations. Also, reach out to us by email at fuelingfuturegenerations2020@gmail.com. Have a great day.